All right, welcome back to Player Tuesday. Today we're doing Alien vs Predator on the arcade machine. So I got a Pandora's box, big hefty guy right here with the two joysticks. You can hear the clickiness on that. Good to go. Blake's a big Alien Predator guy. I haven't really played this. It's something I wanted to play that I saw. So we're gonna give it a go. What do you think? Blake gave it a couple tries. He's really into it. Um, I think we're just gonna get into it and try to play through it. It's a beat 'em up. I don't think it's gonna take very long.
Nah, I doubt it.
Yeah. So we'll get into it. Two player. So let's add some credits. Time to hunt. All right. So select your character. So you could be Predator, Warrior, Hunter, yeah, and Dutch. All right. Which one are you gonna be?
I'm gonna go with the warrior.
I'll be Dutch just for obviously he's got no speed.
So I don't know which one's A and which one's B, but this one is your regular attack. The special one runs out, so the other one runs out.
Oh, okay. All right. The other one runs out.
Yeah, I think it's like only you build them up basically.
Okay. Oh yeah. He's real slow. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So Blake played with all these characters before we started. Yeah. If I die, I'm gonna switch up. This is real tanky. So basically, you're either a human or a predator, and we're smashing xenomorphs here. I think Capcom. We said Capcom makes this. I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
I mean, but it's pretty smooth otherwise.
The cool thing is every character feels different. The only one I didn't play is the girl.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you play a beat 'em up that gets a little repetitive anyway, it's nice to have different feels and characters. So it takes away some of the monotony. Is this a boss? Is this a boss already?
Oh yeah.
Wow. All right. Can we? Oh yeah, you can. Wow. I mean, the sound effects and just the audio in general is pretty darn good.
It feels smooth too.
Yeah. So this came out before the movie. I forget which year. This got to be mid '90s.
Yeah, I think the first Alien vs Predator was in the 2000s.
Yeah, it was. You saw that movie?
Yeah.
What'd you think of it?
Not what I wanted. I mean, like, fans had waited for years, and it didn't live up, in my opinion.
Really? I would say graphic-wise, it's pretty good for... Oh, wow, look at that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, little neck breaker there. Definitely, I would say this is probably a little better two-player, huh?
Oh yeah, for sure. Way more helpful when you have two people, you know.
Yeah.
Because it gets overwhelming with the amount of enemies on the screen.
Man, I'll tell you, this guy's tanky.
He really is.
What are these, gems?
They look like Pez.
A pizza? Oh, what is this, turtles?
It was left over in their graphics,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
This must be Konami then. Apologize to Capcom if this is Konami and I got it wrong. It's not like really Konami's not really doing much these days.
As far as I can tell, there's no jump either.
No.
Is that a giant tall boy in the corner?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's like a can of Chef Boyardee. Soft drink. Soft drink. So we were talking about before how like we enjoyed how it's not just one set of xenomorphs.
Yeah, it's very varied.
There we go. This can't be a very long game at all. If we're getting boss fight, well, maybe it's a mini boss. Yeah, hell. Oh, you got one too. You get that? Is that cheese? There you go. All right, well, I'm gonna grab that one then. All right, we're getting a little overwhelmed. So we've been meaning to play some of these arcade games I got in this box, and it took me a while to figure out how to capture it. And I guess, well, I use Elgato. I guess they updated their software and it made it easier. Like today. I like
Crazy you can drop your main weapon.
I was just about to say that. You drop your weapon. That's, I mean, it's a little annoying, but it's kind of nice little detail.
It is.
Neck breakers. Some of these, oh, this third button jumps.
Which one? Nice. All right.
That jumps, so it does jump. All right, so we got 3 buttons here. We got a special, we got a main attack, and we got a jump.
That's a nice victory pose too.
Yeah, I mean, look, they really did. I think they really did a good job with details on this. You know, it doesn't seem like all come from one hand. I don't know where the girl is from. You know what she's from?
I think she's specifically from this game.
To this game, she just made.
You know how Japan is. Like, they got to put a pretty girl in.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Are we on a vehicle?
It's like almost like a train level in Turtles.
Oh, yeah. Neon Knight Riders.
Oh, cool. You can contra it too.
Yeah. Okay. So remember when we played Battletoads when Scrappy was here? Mm-hmm. And that last level, where it was a shooter level? That's kind of what this reminds me of. And I'm sure it came out at about the right time, at the same time. This is okay. So, anytime that you get different gameplay mechanisms in a beat 'em up, I'm a big fan of.
Me too. Me too. I like the environment too. This is nice. Victory poses. That's really cool. He did a full Kurt Angle though.
Yeah.
I love this game.
Yeah, this is pretty good. I'm surprised we didn't get a console version of this.
I don't know if the hardware could have kept up with it back then.
Well, right, but I think maybe this could have been like a PS1. You know, PS1 could have done this. Saturn.
Flamethrower. Pick that bad boy up, yeah.
But at that point in time, I think everything was going 3D. I remember on the PS1 being all about like a couple of my friends back in the day were all about that Die Hard arcade trilogy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I remember that.
And I mean, you look at that today. The graphics don't really hold up too much. But I probably haven't played it since the '90s.
I was so disappointed in the Die Hard NES game.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is the first time I'm gonna be. Why not? Oh, she kind of reminds me of playing like the guy in Final Fight.
Mm-hmm.
Which is on here too. We ought to give that a go. So this is the Pandora's Box, I think 6.
Oh crap.
Oh. And I mean, I highly recommend this.
Dude, for the amount of games on here, it's crazy.
I think I paid like $200 for this.
Worth it.
Yeah. It's like 2,000 games on this. Hashtag not an ad. But, you know.
So they varied it to where they have the xenomorph in every... Well, so far I don't think we've seen a face hugger. But we've seen the infant stage and the different types of xenomorphs.
Yeah, what are these? These are like zombies, huh?
Yeah.
Alright. Were they in the movie? They weren't in the movie. Oh, this is the different one for you. This is the hunter, right?
Yeah. I just wanted to check them out.
Yeah.
That warrior's pretty awesome.
Oh, there's a face hugger.
There you go, yeah.
Yep. Coming out of the pods, that's pretty...
Oh, wow, his special move is cool.
Yeah. Oh, hers is like a Chun-Li. And instead of the kicks, it's like... See? It's like with a fist.
See, I like that he has the Wolverine claws, too. His little Predator gauntlet.
Oh, yeah. Alright, so if you just tap the jump button, you run. If you press up, you jump. That's what it is.
So he's got a different special move when he has his spear. He throws like batarangs.
That's cool. Oh, she's got a gun. I mean, was he on Broforce when we played Broforce?
Dutch? I don't think so. Well, no, because It would almost be indistinguishable from Bromando.
Yeah.
From Commando.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're
he
right.
looks the exact same in both movies, and he's kind of soldier guy who's jacked, you know?
Yeah. It's kind of the same thing. But what was his name in Commando? It was something cheesy, wasn't
Matrix,
it?
John Matrix.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. I haven't seen that in a while, too. That's one thing we need to do. We need to start doing movies.
Go back to my warrior.
I'm saying, look, I don't know if you can hear on the video the clicking and the buttons, but I mean it's pretty. Oh,
This is
the
badass.
queen. This is the queen. I thought I had a sweet spot there for a second. The only thing I noticed is that Blake and I were talking. They don't have the midway games on here. Like there's no
Yeah, I would have loved to have played some NBA Jam.
NBA Jam, NFL Blitz. I don't know how long it's been since I played Rampage with another person. I've been meaning to do that. Oh man, I've been in the corner. I'm thinking I'm you the whole time. How many times did I do that?
That's kind of the disadvantage of both being Predators.
Yeah.
They are different colors, though.
Alright. Where are we at here? I got like nothing. I sat in the corner the whole time. Is this done?
I don't think so.
Okay, round 5. Secrets. I mean, then I got...
These games didn't really have to be long, though, because if you think about it, if we were paying, we probably would already pumped $5 into this thing.
$5 into it, right. But usually, I mean...
Oh, wow, we're beating up humans now.
Oh, wow. Definitely some blood on here.
Which always trips me out, because the first game I distinctly remember being blood was Mortal Kombat.
Yep.
But I wasn't a big arcade kid. I just didn't have access to a lot of them.
Yeah, I grew up in a country, bud. So that's, that was my thing. Okay, so anybody who grew up in northeastern Pennsylvania knows Top Dog. Top Dog was the arcade. And that place was awesome. It's a sushi place now. But that's where I first saw it. That was mostly my arcade experience. And then of course you have the mall arcades, but they're never like...
Yeah, the mall arcades are never the same. I know what you
Yeah,
mean.
and then later on it was just more about Crane Games and DDR.
Like down here, the most I ever had arcades was like birthday parties when somebody would do Celebration Station. Down here being Louisiana.
Tell me about Celebration Station, because obviously I didn't grow up here, so...
It's a car dealership now, right by Best Buy.
Oh, down there?
Yeah, it's it used to have like there was a swimming pool where they had the boats, like bumper boats.
Oh.
But inside was like 2 stories of arcade games.
2 stories?
Yeah. They had it, skee ball, all the stuff like that.
I do love some skee ball.
It was Chuck E. Cheese on steroids. With way more like physical stuff.
My skee ball experience and so we would go to the Jersey Shore, because that's what everybody did. That's where you went to the beach. You went to like Ocean City or Atlantic City or something. But we went to Ocean City, and they had a place called Jilly's Arcade. I probably talked about it on here once or twice. But that was probably the best arcade I've ever been to. I wonder if it's still there. I mean, I haven't been back up north in probably about 5 years.
Feels like you just got back to.
I know. That's what happens in New Orleans. It's just time flies.
So during quarantine, it feels like it's years now.
Yeah, seriously. But if I ever go back up and ever go back, I want to see if it's still there. I mean, they had new stuff. They had a whole bunch of old stuff. I mean, they had tons of stuff. Like I'm talking about Pac-Man, Galaga. One thing the first time I played it was the original Punch-Out machine.
Oh, the one where you're like it almost looked like Super Punch-Out, right?
Yep. It was like, it was the wireframe guy. And I played that there. And then we were talking about one time the original Star Wars arcade machine.
The polygon one.
Yep, with the vector graphics. I played that one there, and that was pretty good.
I love the variety of weapons you can pick up.
It is pretty cool, and it's just not like, okay, so when you get the knife, it's not just like you throw it once like in Double Dragon. You hold on to it for a little while. That's what I always hated. Like, if you got a weapon, you didn't really keep it very long.
Yeah, it was really easy to mess up and lose it.
Who's this guy? Is he in a movie or a comic book or something?
Comics, I don't know. I read a lot of the Dark Horse books, but I don't go deep on Predator like I do like X-Men or Star Wars.
Oh, this is cool. This is
from the first Alien.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be way bigger though.
Yeah. Continue. All right, I'm gonna go back to Dutch.
Poor guy.
Yeah. Just so I can discern myself from you, because I keep looking at the other one.
Got him trapped in
What
the
was your
corner.
first beat 'em up?
Double Dragon?
The arcade?
No, NES.
NES. I think that was mine too. I remember playing Golden Axe real early. All right, I'm gonna get these guys.
I always confuse Golden Axe and Altered Beast. I know they're nothing alike. For some reason, the names run together.
Well, I mean, it's Sega around the same time.
Yeah.
You
Altered
know.
Beast of the two, I liked more.
I played that at Top Dog for the first time too. I mean,
Being a horror kid and a monster kid, werewolves, they got me. I was
right.
like, all right.
And one thing I didn't notice that was like, I think that took place in like ancient Greece. That was like Greek.
That makes sense now that I think of like it almost, as a kid, it reminded me of New Orleans because they had the above ground cemeteries.
Yeah. Yep. That was like the first stage, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Another
Yeah.
riding level. This one, it just pretty much pays to hold your weapon down and aim.
And just, yeah.
Oh, it's not. That's cool though. A nice little cutscene.
Yep.
Before those were cool.
Right, and how many arcade machines or games do you remember that have cutscenes? I mean,
can't
that's
think of
on the
any.
list, right? Because I can't think of one. You're right. I mean, when you think of early cutscenes, I think of Ninja Gaiden.
First game I remember having cutscenes that blew my mind was Resident Evil.
Yeah.
That opening scene where you're in the helicopter was like, what?
I was talking to somebody about that the other day. Early Resident Evil. I think I was talking to somebody who doesn't play video games, but they like the movies because they just like.
Oh, they like the Resident Evil movies?
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. But
As a huge fan of the games, the movies always annoyed me because they didn't have Chris Redfield or any of the characters I liked. I'm like, at least throw me a Jill Valentine, damn.
See, I never watched them. I'm not. Blake's the horror. Yeah, Blake's the horror guy. I'm not like. If I wanted to be edgy and nervous, I'd call my ex-girlfriend. You know.
Hey. Like this type of game reminds me of like a Saturday night eating pizza.
Yeah.
Renting movies.
This is like Street Fighter. We have to.
Nice.
Oh, perfect. We gotta beat the car up.
I love that Dutch reminds me of Cable in this game because he's got the robotic arm.
Why does he have the robotic arm? I didn't notice.
It looks like it's actually his arm too, so maybe he lost his arm.
Yeah, that's got to be a comic book thing.
I'm sure. I know Dutch was in a few of those Dark Horse books. None of the ones I read though. I mostly read the crossovers with DC Comics. Like, there's really good comic books of Batman crossing over with Predator and Alien and Superman as well.
If y'all know why he lost his arm, feel free to drop that down so we don't have to scour through hours of Wikipedia or YouTube or whatever. I'm sure there's some people who are like.
There's a really cool website called Fandom, and they have wikis on everyone.
Everyone?
And they do their extended universe comic book stuff, which is how I always read up on characters.
Okay, so that makes sense. I was just about to say there's probably a niche group who are like super Alien vs Predator guys.
Critical Drinker, who's a great YouTuber. If you haven't checked him out, you should. He goes deep on Predator.
Okay.
And Alien.
See, I go down different YouTube holes than you do, and we ought to just exchange that one day.
Yeah.
Maybe just.
Critical Drinker is one of my favorite YouTubers. He's great.
Critical Drinker. All right.
He's actually a published writer. He writes novels and stuff.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I'm actually going to buy one because I love his work, and I could only imagine. He's very smart about storytelling and stuff, so I'd love to see what he's got.
I usually stick to video game stuff on my YouTube and educational stuff. You know, like I use a lot of stuff for class. I mean, it's a great educational resource. I mean, look, teaching is way different now than it was 10 years ago. And all the stuff they have, all the content, all the stuff, primary sources, it just makes it such a better experience. But, I mean, same thing with video games. Like, a lot of the ideas that I get for, like, what we play and, like, what like, your suggestions, we probably watched on YouTube and be like, man, that would be real fun to play. You know?
I feel like for everything, YouTube's such a great resource. But nowadays, if you're trying to become a pro wrestler, you have it so much easier than when I was training because you can watch any wrestler you can think of. They're there.
Anything, yeah. Well, I mean, so you hear the guys from back in the day talking about tape trading, and that was kind of our era, where we had so many VHS tapes, but you can only get what they sold. So like.
Or, traded. If you had to know somebody who had the tapes to trade to begin with.
You had to know somebody, right? So, media is so much better. Okay, so how do I want to say this? Grab that. The quality and the quantity of media is so much easier to access today that, like, I couldn't imagine what it would be like when I was a kid. You know, even like going to your friend's house. Like, I grew up in the country, so I rode my bike over to their house, and I knew if they were home if their bike was there or not.
Yeah.
You know? Like, or you can't call their cell phone or hit up their instant message. It was like you called their house and hoped somebody would answer. But in a sense, did we have it worse or better because we had to rely on those tapes, or did we?
In a way, I'm gonna sound like the old man who says better.
Yeah.
For the simple fact that the way I learned about a lot of horror movies was going to the video store, spending time on the horror aisle,
right,
and renting them. Whereas, it was an experience that made my night.
There's an experience.
Whereas now, you have Netflix and you can watch so much, but it's overwhelming. You have so much choice that it's overwhelming.
Right. It is overwhelming, and it's like, okay, and because it's readily available to you, do you appreciate it as much?
Exactly. Like, if I would have had WWE Network, I would have probably just watched Bret Hart stuff. I never would have been able to experience having to rent a VHS and watch the whole card.
Right. And, probably same thing with horror movies. Like, you probably learned who the guys are who make the... What is this?
Predator boss fight.
Oh, wow. You probably learned who, like, the guys are who make quality movies. Like, okay, I like this movie. Who wrote and directed it? I want to see something else that they did. You know what I'm saying?
I can remember when IMDb first came out. It was way before streaming services. So what I did was I went to the top 100 horror movies on IMDb, and I actually printed it out, and I would rent them one by one.
Oh, wow.
Because I love horror.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Like, back in the day, like, I remember buying a book, top 1,000 movies you should see or something. I think it was Leonard Maltin who did it. The film critic.
Yep.
But I mean, that's what you relied on. A lot of physical media, and like, that's why today, like, all right, so do I need to, with I didn't mean to do that. With ROMs and stuff today, I mean, do I need to own 400 NES games? No.
Yeah.
But, if media ever goes bad, like I want, it's nice to have there's just something about playing original on like original consoles, you know, and same thing with like VHS. There's something about a VHS cassette, you know, that's not a DVD.
You know, we're talking about, we don't know the final bosses, but we haven't really been reading the story. I bet you there was...
Yeah, I bet you there was somebody we don't even know who it is.
It could have something to do with us fighting the humans, too. We've been fighting humans, so maybe it's them who brought them here to begin with.
That's some kind of company, yeah.
I always thought it was interesting that the Ridley Scott, who directed the first Alien, also did Blade Runner, and the companies actually cross over. It's like, it's a shared universe.
Really?
Yeah. Utani, I think?
I was not aware of that. I mean, have you ever seen this cabinet out in the wild? I don't think I have either.
I didn't know about this game until I was older.
It doesn't take away, like, okay, so in Turtles or Final Fight, you do a special and it takes away your health. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think it does that here, which is nice. That's why it has its own meter. So
it also makes sense a lot like Star Wars in the fact that those laser guns, it's not like you load them. You know?
Right, they overheat. Just yet another detail. And really, that's what makes a good obscure game, is like the attention to detail.
I think this game was just obscure for us, though, because I've seen a lot of people shout this game out as one of their favorites when they were growing up.
When they were growing up?
Uh-huh.
Because I know now, okay, so the access you have to, like, MAME, okay, multiple as something, it's, MAME is what you use to play.
The emulators and
Yeah,
stuff.
the emulators. Because of that, and then, you know, like, I've seen people buy the board and they can hook it up to the TV without buying the whole cabinet, you know what I'm saying? I've seen that. So the access to these is a lot less scarce now than it was in the 90s. You know, in the 90s, if you didn't have this on a cabinet, you couldn't play it.
The Marines remind me of, remember when they did the G.I. Joe reboot when we were a kid and they made the action figures look more like the X-Men action figures? They were like more buffed up and they were a different size.
When was that?
Mid to late 90s.
I wasn't really into G.I. Joes.
I wasn't either, but I just remember the action figures. They look like them. They were all buffed up.
Oh yeah? They're all jacked up? Kind of like the WWF action figures?
They were more in scale with like the X-Men action figures.
Oh, okay. I wasn't
Toy Biz stuff.
I wasn't into X-Men until later on either. I mean, I watched the, I watched the cartoon every now and then, but I didn't ever really. I wasn't good about watching things when they
So
aired.
this guy's probably going to be the last boss there.
Yeah. Who cares about the aliens? Thousands more back at the base. I wasn't real good about, okay, so this show's on at this day at this point in time. I would always either forget or, I'd miss it. I was never...
See, I knew when... I loved the X-Men, so I was like, I knew when that was. All the Saturday morning cartoons I liked, I would even figure out how to set my VCR and tape it. In case I wasn't awake.
See, I was not good at that. And my parents, like, all my parents did was watch TV. So... I didn't have cable for a while. I didn't have cable in my room when I was really young. I just had a VHS and my video games. So
I even got it to where I would tape Raw and Nitro. I think I would tape. That's what it was. I would tape Nitro so I could watch Raw.
Now I did that later on, probably in junior high. But early on,
Nitro had the replay though. Like I would still flip back and forth, but I wanted to be able to make sure I could catch it. Here we go.
Wow, that was really gory.
Okay, so the queen survived.
Okay, so this must be...
Yeah, this has got to be the final boss.
I mean, look at that life bar. I mean, that's two of them, and they're all the way across the screen. And that seemed like he was the main bad guy of the
She
humans.
just slaughtered him.
Yeah, ripped him right in half.
There's other boss characters as side characters too. That's crazy.
Yeah. Where is it?
I tried to trap it in the corner.
Oh boy.
Crap.
This thing's a tank. Where am I? Oh, I gotta continue. There we go. I did have him trapped for a second. Oh boy.
Oh crap.
Oh, it had you by the tail, huh?
Yeah.
Alright, we're getting there.
Keep dropping my damn spear.
I thought I had a sweet spot there. Jump back. Oh boy. Oh, it killed one of the only. It killed one of its own. Oh. That was rough. Almost there. Stay on target. He just spammed the special. There we go.
Got him.
That's got to be it.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be it.
Victory. That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's done. Hurry, get to. Yeah, that's got to be it. Oh yeah, that's it. Look, put your name in. And an actual like cinematic ending in an arcade game is probably pretty rare too. I don't really remember a lot of like endings like that, you know. I might be wrong.
I haven't beaten a lot of them. Because, back in the day.
You had $5 and you went through $5. That was it. You going home.
A lot of the fighting games had endings. Like, I remember Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter.
Yeah, but were they like this? I mean, this
No,
is pretty,
nowhere near.
This is pretty good. That's pretty good.
It was normally a picture with text.
Right. And maybe some sound. Oh, Capcom. There we go.
Yeah.
Sorry, Konami.
That was good stuff.
Yeah, I enjoy. What do you think? I mean, it wasn't too long, wasn't too short.
It's perfect amount of, lengthwise.
I think so. We're a little under an hour, give or take. The time we took to set it up, and I really didn't get bored.
No, me either.
You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that I worry about playing a beat 'em up is I'm gonna get bored. And I didn't. And I thought the variety was good and it was smooth. Yeah, I mean that's one that I wish I could have played when I was younger.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's our first arcade. We're going to be doing probably a couple more arcade games and getting through some of those. And if you guys played this, or if you have any, if you're into Alien vs Predator or know anything about the comic books, tell me why Dutch has a metal arm.
A metal arm. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're good. We're gonna move on. So tune in, like, subscribe at the end of the video. You should be able to click here and here, and tune into the other stuff. We played Broforce. We played a couple other beat 'em ups. So check the backlog stuff out, and keep looking out for new stuff. Catch you later.
Make sure you follow us on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, Gmail. Don't forget to like and subscribe.